What's up? This is Cops checking our public servants. And I had to bring this quick video because I've been doing some traveling lately and I've been noticing these signs in all these airports that I've visited here in the United States. They say, like the one on the left shows, in the Denver International Airport, federal law requires that all individuals wear a mask at all times while at Denver International Airport. The one in the middle was from LAX, Los Angeles International Airport. TSA requires proper wearing of face masks per federal law. Face masks are to be worn at all times. Failure to comply will result in denial of entry to the screening process and will result in penalties. And even on the local buses here in Los Angeles, we have these signs at the bus stop. Face mask required. TSA requires the proper wearing of the face mask at all times per federal law. Federal law. Failure to comply may result in penalties. Federal law. Okay, so I decided to look into these laws, look for some penal codes, get as much information as I can. So I type in federal mass law, and at first it tells me the same thing from the signs we just read, but right below we see something from TSA.gov. TSA to implement executive order. So let me click this. TSA to implement executive order regarding face masks at airport security checkpoint and throughout transportation network. But it says executive order. So that leaves me with two questions. Why does the language on the signs in the airport specifically say federal law when actuality it's an executive order? And also, number two, my second question is what is the difference between an executive order and a law? And this is how we can answer the latter. So I came across this article here that does a good job of breaking down the differences between executive orders and laws. It says the Biden administration issued a record number of executive orders in their first week in the White House. What is the difference between an executive order and a law? Executive orders are carried out by the president, only the president, and no congressional oversight is required. Orders can only give direction to the federal agencies contained under the executive branch, like the CDC, EPA, or the Department of Transportation. So they are orders that are given to agencies, federal agencies contained under the executive branch. Now, of course, I'm not a lawyer, but the information here is from sources like Alan Leichman, a distinguished professor of history at American University, also John Fortier, resident scholar at the American Enterprise Institute, and also references from American Bar Association, Heritage Foundation, Heritage Explains Executive Orders. Links will be in the description. Says the process is executive orders are not legislation. The president has the sole power to direct his or her executive branch as they please. And an executive order is just one of those tools in the toolbox. It also happens to be one of the most formal, which is why we hear about them the most. Executive orders cannot be used to subject private citizens to specific rules and restrictions, nor can they be used to pass a budget or abolish an act of Congress. Now, let's read that again because we have to understand how crucial this information is. Executive orders cannot be used to subject private citizens to specific rules and restrictions, nor can they be used to pass a budget. All executive orders apply to actions of the executive branch of government. Leichman says they cannot overtake the prerogative of Congress. So this brings us to the answer to the other question of why do they use the language federal law. It's because if they put executive order there, people could easily research and understand that executive orders don't apply to private citizens. They apply to members of the government, executive branch of the government, like TSA or whatever, what have you. So they use federal law. So we know what law is. The normal people know what law means. Law means legislation. That means if we're breaking the law. If we go against it, we're breaking the law. When in actuality, this does not apply to the people. So just think about that for a second. Think about why. Think about the tactics that they used. This last clip here, I just want to throw in. This is just an encounter I had at one of my last few visits at LAX. Before I even found this out about the executive orders, I just my first time it was my first time seeing these signs, and I just knew it wasn't a law, and I just had to confront somebody. And actually, the first lady that I talked to, I thought she was TSA, but I ended up finding out she wasn't TSA. She was part of something else. But I ended up talking to the police officer, and just listen closely to what the police officer says. Listen closely. He knows that this is BS. A COVID specialist? Are you the COVID specialist? A supervisor that's a COVID specialist on the COVID protocols. Somebody told me that there was a COVID specialist here. A TSA worker told me.
No, there's COVID testers and stuff at Terminal 6.
No, she said she was like a specialist as far as like the rules and the protocol and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, you heard of that?
No, ma'am.
No. Who told you that?
It was a lady that was posted right here when I came here. She said it was a specialist, and I didn't have time to wait to talk to the person. But now I just landed, so I wanted to talk to him.
I have no idea what she's talking about.
Is there a supervisor? Can I talk to a supervisor?
About COVID?
Yeah, just about the regulations and stuff like that.
No, there is a board downstairs that will tell you that you have to download the paper so that you can get, what is that you have to do before and after you travel?
Oh, when you fly, it's the
The
what do you
14
call
days.
it? Yeah, it's the
14
14-day quarantine with traveler.
It wasn't about because the lady to me quoted me a law. She said it was a federal law. In the past 24 hours, I've been looking all over the internet trying to find this federal law, and I couldn't find it. So I was maybe no about masks. So I was trying to talk to a supervisor that maybe knew the law, maybe better than I did, maybe searched it better than I did. So
Did you just come in? You just flew in?
yeah, I just got in. Yeah.
Okay, if you are down at Baggage Claim, there is a billboard up that's telling you to go on this website, download that paper, and submit it. Fill it out and submit it.
What's that? A paper for what?
It's a paper for self-quarantine.
No. I don't want to do self-quarantine. All I want to do, the lady,
Trying to find the rules and regulations, yes?
not even that. The lady quoted me a law.
Okay.
So maybe she wasn't right. Maybe her supervisor knows the law. So I want to talk. Maybe her supervisor can inform me on the law because I tried to look it up and I saw nothing about a federal law, a federal mask law. So maybe if somebody can show me the right way.
Mandate.
What mandate and law are not the same thing.
Right,
We
no, I
can't use the
understand,
word
I
law
understand.
for mandates.
I understand.
Mandates means something we're asking you to do.
Right.
A law means if you don't do this, there are legal repercussions for this.
Right.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
understand.
And we can't like play like hey, it's a mandate, it's a law. We can't play like that. You know what I'm saying? Like when we're saying law, we have to say this is a law. You know what I'm saying? We can't be like, oh, it's an order, it's a mandate, it's a suggestion. Like a law is a law. You know what I'm
The
saying?
new federal law
Please tell me.
by President Biden is about the masks.
So you're saying law? So me and him just had a discussion about
It's now
that.
a federal law.
It's not though.
They just made it one.
No, I hear what you're saying, but it's not. I've looked it up. I've done all kind of research on it the past 24 hours because this lady gave me this information. So I've been trying to find it. It's a mandate.
No.
No. Okay, can you please show me?
It's right there, that sign right there. They posted it a day after it came out.
Okay, let's.
Because they announced it on the news.
February 2nd, right? February 2nd, right?
I believe it was the 1st.
Okay.
You can look it up.
Let's look it up.
Yeah.
Let's look it up.
Yeah, President Biden announced it.
Let's look it up.
Also, the mask is the one you're looking at.
Federal. I just want to look up. Somebody told me that was a federal law.
Yeah.
So I'm going to look up the federal law. Federal
Okay, right.
mask
That's the details right there.
law. It says disease of.
What website are you on?
This is just from federalregister.gov. It says announces an agency order. An agency order. Remember, order and the law is not the same thing, and we can't tell people something is a law when it's an order.
That order they're saying is executive order. The
Right.
president overrides.
Executive order. Executive order. Presidents don't make laws though.
No, no.
Presidents can't, and presidents can't override laws neither.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what a president says. The president
They
can just
can
give
veto.
suggestions, and they can't veto anything.
Yeah.
They have to go through a chain of commands. You know what I'm saying? Senate, House of Representatives. You know, remember School of Rock? I am a bill. I am only a bill sitting on Capitol Hill.
I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. And I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill. Well, it's a long, long journey to the capital city. It's a long, long wait while I'm sitting in committee. But I know I'll be a law someday. At least I hope and pray that I will. But today I am still just a bill.
The president isn't just. Oh, is this a specialist?
No.
Are you just a? Who are you? Airport police.
Nobody.
Oh, so there's certain things before things can be planted in as law. You can't. A president just can't wake up one day and say, "I have a new law today." That's not how things work. This is America. It's not the president just don't have a power to just do anything. You know what I'm saying? So we have to go through checks and balances.
Yeah.
We have to go through
Yeah.
chains of commands, right?
Right.
So you're saying that President Biden overruled the whole? That's not how it works.
No, it went through rules. And
It didn't.
Went through mandate.
A mandate.
And then
A mandate is
after
not a
that,
law, man.
No,
A mandate is not a law.
executive order is.
Executive order is not a law. If it was called a law, it would be called an executive law. It wouldn't be called an executive order.
No, the laws aren't actually called laws anymore. They're called statutes. So
There's no law. There's no federal law
for the mask,
for a mask.
would you feel better if my manager explains it?
I would love. I was trying to talk to a supervisor the whole time, man. But yes, I would love to.
Because you asked for one that's an expert on that. We don't have
Any
one.
any supervisor that can make sense of what I'm saying. That's
Okay.
what I want.
Okay, you don't want to read the sign?
No, because a sign is not. That's not. You can say federal law all you want to. If I can't look up the law, then it's not a law. We're talking about mandates. Mandates are not laws; those are just suggestions.
Statute.
It just says per federal law. It doesn't even cite the law. It doesn't even cite the law. Let me take a picture of this. It just says federal law, but doesn't even cite what the law is. It says proper face mask per federal law. And normally they would have at the bottom the law, you know, like California Penal Code, whatever, or federal law, blah, 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 whatever. This doesn't say anything. This is just a piece of paper with some writing on it.
Come on, sir. You free check?
Yes.
This is just a piece of paper with some writing on it. Don't have no type of legal, it's supposed to have a code right here, a legal code.
It's up to the airport if they want to put that.
No, that's not how it works, man. You can't, it says up to the airport whether they would have put, that's not how that works.
It has to have a free check on the board.
Federal law. They just say federal law. Federal law. You cannot look up any federal law about masks. You cannot find it. You will find executive orders. You'll find some mandates. But luckily, in America, an executive order is not a law. In America, a mandate is not a law. Laws have to be passed through channels. TSA?
Nope.
You give me some information on federal laws?
Nope.
You're a police officer?
Yes.
From the police officer with the airport?
Yes, sir.
Did you swear oath to the Constitution?
Yes, sir.
Are you a federal employee?
No.
You're not a federal employee?
We're not.
So you probably
City
would.
employee.
You probably wouldn't know what a federal law is, then, right?
We're not here to enforce federal law.
Oh, so but
What's going on?
there is no federal law
Regarding?
regarding a face mask.
Are you traveling?
Well, there is no federal law regarding a face mask. Period. Right?
Correct.
Oh, right? I'm talking to officers now, right? People who know might be a little aware of the law, right? So I'm not talking to like a layman person out here. I'm talking to a law enforcement officers. So we can agree that there is no federal law about masks, right?
Correct.
There are mandates and executive orders which are different from laws, right? Because laws have to go through certain chains of commands, right? Remember like a schoolhouse of rock, right? I am only a bill sitting on Capitol Hill, right? You have to go through this, we have to go through this, we have to go through this, we have to go through this. So you can't just say federal law. For this to have federal, you have to have a penal code right here, right? Have to have a penal code.
Okay.
So what's this? So people just out here just spewing, hey, this is a law. And then people just supposed to just take it, and I'm just supposed to just, okay, do whatever you say because it's a law, and now I'm getting threatened, I can't get on the plane because I'm not following a federal law. And now I'm
Okay.
asking, show me the federal law, and they say, it's on the paper.
Okay, so regardless TSA, we're gonna skip TSA. We're gonna go airlines. Airlines are private company, correct?
Absolutely. So I'm not talking about
So
that.
they
That's why
have their rules and mandates, right?
absolutely.
Okay.
Because I am signing a contract that I will agree to use your services and I will agree to do whatever you say. TSA, I'm not agreeing. I didn't sign shit with TSA.
Yeah.
So TSA stopped me from going about my business and told me I have to respect the federal law. So I want to ask, where's the federal law?
Yeah, we agree with you. There's a federal law.
So you guys are okay, you guys are law enforcement, you guys are okay with this in America? It was just putting some shit on the paper and just say, hey, it's a federal law. Like, really? That's okay? All right, just want to make my point. Thank you. Take that shit down, man. Take that shit down. That's craziness. That's craziness, man. You swore an oath to the Constitution. Uphold that oath to the Constitution. Be an American. Be a true American.